Game 4 tomorrow night in the Western Conference Finals. Warriors the first chance to close that one out. We go back to Boston now, where Kyle Lowry and Jimmy Butler have taken their seats after a 20-point loss. That series tied up at 2.
What's the next step after one of these, individually and then collectively as a team, for both of you, please?
I don't think we need to worry about individuals. I think we need to figure out how to win as a team. That's the most important thing. Figure out how to get stops as a team, how to score as a team, and continue to do everything as a team.
I think we go get on an airplane and go home and, get recovery and look at the film the next day and get ready to play.
Hey, Jimmy, what is your concern level on your knee, and how has it impacted you the last 2 games?
I'm straight. No excuse for how I played tonight. It don't got nothing to do with my knee. I just got to be better. Will be better. I'm not too worried about it.
Guys, is there just no concern just because you all know what you can do as a team? You've obviously come back from losses before. So is there no real concern tonight, even though obviously you're not thrilled with the result?
I mean, there's always concern, right? There's always concern on how the game went about. But we can't dwell on what happened. We got to figure out how to get better, move on to the next situations. They came on, they played better than us tonight. They protected their home court. We didn't do what we wanted to do tonight. Can't dwell on too much. Let it hurt, let it sting, and move forward. Stay positive because we still have another game in, one day.
Jimmy, as a team, you guys only took 3 shots at the rim in the first half. Was that something they were doing well, or was the offense not really operating as intended?
I think that's on us. I think we settled for way too many mid-range jump shots, myself included. A lot of shots behind the 3 that weren't even good ones at that. I mean, ain't nothing more other than that. We got to move the ball around and get it to the open guy, let that guy make the play, and live with what we get out of it. But I just think we just got to be better.
Jimmy, to that point, we still don't know what's going to happen with Tyler over the next couple of days. If he stays out, what do you think you have to do to get the offense in rhythm without him?
Move the ball, get it from one side to the other, keep the game extremely simple. Whenever we tend to do that, we tend to play well. When anybody tries to hit a home run and do it by themselves, we kind of get in trouble. Ball sticks. We turn the ball over. We take a bad shot. We just need to do everything together like we've been doing all year long. And it'll be on myself, on Kyle, on Bam to make sure that we make that happen.
Jimmy, is there anything you guys could do more to get to the foul line, which obviously then also helps you guys set your defense? Is there something they're doing specifically? Or, not talking about officiating, talking about playing style.
I didn't say nothing to the sorts. I think we just got to be more physical. Like I said, when you shoot a lot of jump shots, which we tended to do, if that's a word, tonight, it's hard getting to the free throw line. I think we have to be more of the forceful type team, getting in the paint, not shying away from contact and playing from the inside out. So, whenever we do that and not shoot as many jumpers, we might get fouled a little bit.
Has been like, obviously it's not the easiest thing to switch teams in the middle of the year, and how much as a coach you appreciate the fact that, his role might fluctuate from being a very large one like it was tonight to certain games. Maybe it's not what he's used to and what he had in San Antonio, but he still seems to handle it well either way.
Yeah, he's been great. Part-time starter when guys are out. He checks so many boxes for us. And like I said, it's not only things that show up on the stat sheet with the scoring, but he's the guy that moves the ball extremely well, defends extremely well, multiple positions. So all those things he does for us, we don't lose a lot with certain guys in or out. With him, it was just a matter of understanding who we are here, the difference from San Antonio, where Pop is on him about not fouling. I want us to be a little more aggressive and don't mind taking a foul or two. And so he has to kind of shift his mindset as far as that. And I've tried to get him up to speed with what everybody else is doing. It's going to take some time, but couldn't be more happy with him being here and what he brings to our team.
After last game, Al said that Miami played like a wounded animal and you guys didn't have a sense of urgency. First game, he comes out and strips Bam. How was just him bringing that sense of urgency huge for you guys?
Yeah, I think it was everybody. The focus was great tonight. We understood we have to be more aggressive and physical on the defensive end. Bam got to go in last game, and guys take that personal. So to hold their guys, nobody scored in double figures with their starters. I think we obviously set the tone right there. But, we have a prideful team, one of the best defensive teams in the league, and as well as individuals. And they heard some of the things that were said and took pride in those matchups. And so came out with the right mindset, but have to duplicate that Game 5 coming off a win as opposed to only when we lose it.
Ime, Jason finished with his most free throws made and attempts the whole postseason tonight. Is that something you preached to him coming into this game, to go to attack the rim more and get to the line more?
Just being aggressive. They are really crowding our guys on the perimeter, and said sometimes you just have to break the play and be aggressive and get downhill. He did that from the start. And then they went to smaller lineups where they don't have a lot of rim protection there. So we were really trying to get to the paint and attack. And obviously getting 14 or 16 free throws for him is huge, but continue to make the right play. They're going to try to take some charges. If Adebayo's not in the game, there's not a lot of rim protection, but he still has to make the play.
All right, let's get to Eric Spoelstra with the Eastern Conference Finals now tied up at 2 games apiece.
Yeah, they came out and jumped us. I think probably more than anything, our offense, really hurt us at the beginning. We just weren't getting the kind of purposeful execution, that you need to on the road. And then they were able to just kind of get some relief points from that, and then get to the free throw line, and they jumped out to that lead, and it just kind of, that was the story for the rest of the game. We're not making any excuses. They outplayed us tonight for sure. We never could get any kind of grip on the game, outside of these like crazy runs, you have 2 really competitive teams. The scores and that kind of thing doesn't really give the true indication of how competitive it is, and it can get away from either team at any time, and that's what you saw tonight.
In the first half, at least, it looked like the shots you were getting weren't really your shots. There wasn't much at the rim, not in the corners. Did they change something to take away the shots you want to get?
Yeah, I mean, they did a better job, of getting into us and, rotating, guys into the paint. Similar coverage to the other night. I think just a little bit more purposeful, on their end. A few more extra efforts, and then we didn't, do things with great intention after that first trigger. We just kind of settled in and just took the first available contested shot. And against, a great defense like they have, or conversely, against us, if you fall prey to that, you're just going to feel like you're in quicksand, And so we weren't able to impact them, on the other end, defensively without fouling. There were times where we were aggressive, but we were fouling too much. And they were able to pretty much dictate the shots, even if it was early in the clock or halfway through the clock. We just didn't really execute with purpose, and we paid the price for that.
Eric, was there any sense you got from Jimmy or the training staff that the knee affected him tonight?
No, we just got outplayed tonight. We got guys that love competition, love these kind of moments, the playoffs, and this is part of the playoffs. There's extreme highs, extreme lows, a lot of emotion. You just have to stay the course, stay together. And what you're looking at is a great series. It's 2-2. You have to embrace that and come together, and hopefully this competition brings out the absolute best in all of us.
Eric, 3 of your best offensive players are hurting, and they have a great defense. Is that concerning to you going forward?
No, we're not making any excuses. Our guys love competition, and our team has proven that we have a bunch of different ways that we can find a solution to get a win. We can do it in the mud. We can win it ugly. We can win it when the floodgates come open, hitting threes. We can do it with, Jimmy taking over a game. We can do it when he's facilitating. We have the mental fortitude and the collective toughness, to be able to embrace what we have. It's just a very competitive, good series. This is what you want, and they got the best of us tonight. We'll take this hit, we'll do this together, and then we'll get back to Miami and get ready for Game 5.
Eric, Bam Adebayo had what looked like a sort of a breakout game last game. Tonight, what was the difference with him? Was it him? Was it his teammates? Was it with the opponents?
It's really tough, to really evaluate. We were just so poor, to start that game. And a lot of it was our offensive execution, the lack of doing it with force and intention and purpose. And then we dug ourselves a hole, and then at that point we couldn't get back and get a grip on this game. And that you have to credit Boston. They took control of it early, and I wouldn't single out any of like you could pick any player on our roster. We're built to really flourish together and utilize all of our menu and our weapons, and certainly Jimmy and Bam and Kyle and Tyler. They drive a lot of those first triggers, but we did a lot of things poorly offensively.
Oh, your coach. Nights like this certainly can happen in the playoffs, but you just mentioned that your players love competition. Just how disconcerting is it to have a game like this?
This is nothing
after
about
Game 3?
A matter of want. I understand the narratives, and you can easily point to, they had desperation and urgency, and we didn't. You can say that whoever's coming off of a loss is now for sure having, more of an edge. Sometimes when you have two really competitive teams, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a one-point game. It means that it can be flammable either way. Both teams are ignitable. Both teams can really defend and get teams out of their comfort zone and distort a lot of things offensively, and that can fuel big runs, on the other end. And we just weren't able to get that. Tonight they were, and so we have to just get ready for Game 5 and get ready for the next competition. Our guys want this. It's not a matter of that. It's just a matter of you're facing good competition. We all have to collectively find a way to figure this out together.
Were you expecting Jason Tatum to, after as rough a game as he had in Game 3, to kind of get it going? Was it a matter of just trying to contain him tonight?
The toughest part was, he was able to get into gaps, get angles and draw fouls. That was the toughest part. He was able to get into a good rhythm, just by seeing the ball go in from the free throw line quite a bit. And it wasn't like the explosions that he's had after some of the losses, previously in the playoffs. It was more about living at the free throw line and being able to get us off out of position.
Spo, we obviously don't know what's going to happen with Tyler in the next couple of days, and Jimmy's dealing with what he's dealing with. What makes you confident that the offense will be able to find its way moving forward into Game 5?
Well, we've proven, that we can do it. Like I said, the margin for error, either team, whatever they've done to us, we can do to them. None of us are happy about what happened tonight. This is part of the playoffs. There are these extreme highs and lows, particularly when you have two teams that are pretty closely evenly matched. But we've proven that we can find solutions offensively in a lot of different ways. We can be much better than we were tonight, even against a very good defense. And I know for a fact we can be better defensively. And overall, our collective competitive will, we can do some things that can make the other team look a little sideways as well. Okay, thank you.
Eric Spoelstra trying to make sense of this